In the vast plains of southwest Kenya, where the savannas meet the endless sky, lies the Masai Mara National Reserve, a jewel of nature that spans over 1,500 square kilometers. This wild sanctuary, famous for its rich biodiversity and annual migration spectacles, also serves as a stage for life and death dramas as old as the earth itself. Amidst this scene of undeniable beauty and natural brutality, the story of the Sankai boys, a formidable coalition of lions, unfolds. Their journey is marked by power struggles, fragile alliances, and a relentless fight for survival. Born in the Olari Motorogi Conservancy, one of many private territories that border the unfenced reserve, these 5 male lions came into the world between 2016 and 2017, descendants of the powerful males from Croton Island, Olrai, and Olakiti. From an early age, the Sankai boys were introduced to the complexities of life in the savannah. Under the watchful eyes and teachings of their mothers, they learned the essential skills to survive in the realm of predators. They learned to hunt, to read the signs of the weather, and to respect the hierarchies established by the Sankai pride. However, as is typical in the life of male lions, the day would come when they had to leave the comfort and safety of their natal band to forge their own path. The rite of passage began when, driven by the need to expand territories and by internal pressures from the group, the brothers left their homeland. This moment of transition is crucial and perilous for any young lion. Leaving the natal pride means entering a world of uncertainties and challenges, where death lurks around every corner. Yet, it is also a path to conquest and the formation of a new realm. The Sankai boys, with their blood ties strengthened by years of coexistence, advanced together, facing adversities with a unity rarely seen. They traversed unknown territories, crossing plains and navigating through dense thickets, always alert to the dangers posed by other predators and, especially, by other coalitions of lions that did not look kindly upon the arrival of new competitors. Upon arriving in the Lemek Conservancy, the young lions found a territory under the dominion of Dare and Barikoi, 2 experienced lions who reigned without contest. The confrontation was inevitable. With the audacity of youth and the strength of their fraternal bond, the Sankai boys challenged the established order, initiating a series of intense and strategic confrontations. The battle for supremacy was not just a display of physical strength, but also of cunning and endurance. After months of skirmishes and direct confrontations, the Sankai boys emerged victorious, expelling the old rulers and establishing themselves as the new lords of Lemek. This success was not just a territorial conquest, but the beginning of an era in which they would begin to leave their genetic mark through procreation with the females of the pride. As new leaders, the Sankai boys faced the challenge of maintaining order and security in their new kingdom. They patrolled the territory tirelessly, defending it from invaders and strengthening their presence. Each day brought new challenges, from defending against hyenas and other lions to maintaining a delicate balance with the human communities that also call Masai Mara home. However, the life of the Sankai boys was about to become even more complicated with the arrival of new rivals, the Mara North Coalition, whose members brought with them the promise of future conflicts. The saga of the Sankai boys, filled with triumphs and tragedies, reflected the eternal struggle for survival in the wild and unpredictable Masai Mara. With the rise of the Sankai boys established and their dominion over Lemek consolidated, peace lasted briefly before the winds of change brought new challenges. The arrival of the Mara North, a coalition of 4 equally powerful and experienced lions, marked the beginning of a new era of tensions and confrontations for control of the territory. With the consolidation of the Sankai boys' dominion over the Lemek Conservancy, the calm that followed was only a prelude to more turbulent times. Peace was briefly enjoyed, as the borders of the Sankai boys' territory soon began to feel the pressure of new challengers, the Mara North Coalition, whose reputation for fearless and cunning warriors preceded them. This new threat materialized on the horizon, bringing with it the inevitability of conflict. The Mara North, a quartet of experienced lions, had been displaced from their own territories due to pressure from even more powerful coalitions. This pushed them to the borders of the Sankai boys, where they saw an opportunity to establish a new domain. The initial encounters between the two groups were marked by threatening postures and displays of strength, with roars echoing across the plains and glances that measured the strength and will of the opponent. tensions gradually increased, with the Mara North making increasingly deeper incursions into the territory controlled by the Sankai boys. These were not mere demonstrations. They were strategic probes intended to test the vigilance and resilience of the brothers. In response, the Sankai boys reinforced the patrol of their borders, confronting the intruders with a ferocity that sought to discourage future invasions. The strategy of the Sankai boys was clear: maintain unity and show strength. Each member of the coalition played a crucial role. Sankai, with his dark and imposing mane, often led the patrols, while Kini used his agility to ambush intruders who ventured too deeply. Lemert, the largest of the three, was the group's brute force, always ready for physical combat. However, the real battle was yet to come. One night, under the pale light of the crescent moon, the Mara North launched a coordinated large-scale attack. This confrontation was not just a test of strength, but also of intelligence and strategy. The Sankai boys were forced to spread out, defending multiple points of their territory simultaneously. The battle was intense and brutal. The plains of Lemek, normally a tranquil and abundant hunting ground, were transformed into a chaotic battlefield. The sound of fierce roars, the crackling of teeth, and the smell of dust and blood filled the air. The Sankai boys fought with a mixture of fury and despair, knowing that the loss of their territory would mean not just a blow to their status, but also to their survival. Despite their bravery and defensive tactics, the costs of the conflict were high. Larai and Mourinho, though bravely fighting, were overcome by the experienced Mara North. Their losses were not immediate, but the wounds suffered that night proved fatal. These events marked a dark turning point for the Sankai boys, cruelly reminding them of the relentlessness of wildlife. In the days that followed, the psychological impact of these losses on the three survivors was palpable. The grief and the need to reassess their strategies led them to a temporary retreat, a strategic decision to conserve what remained of their strength and replan their next move. During this period of reflection and mourning, the Sankai boys strengthened their bond, vowing to avenge the fall of their brothers and regain full control of their territory. Regrouped and re-energized, Sankai, Kini, and Lemert emerged from this phase of introspection with a new determination. Understanding that true strength comes from resilience and the ability to overcome adversities, they began to plan their counteroffensive, determined not only to retake Lemek, but also to ensure that no other coalition dared challenge them again. This was the moment when the Sankai boys truly began to write their legend across the vast plains of Masai Mara. The return of the Sankai boys to the battlefield was marked by a new phase of meticulous strategy and calculated brutality, rejuvenated by the time of reflection and strengthened by the unbreakable bond that united them. Sankai, Kini, and Lemert were determined to reaffirm their supremacy over the plains of Lemek. They knew that the Mara North, although formidable, were now facing their own internal and external pressures, offering a window of opportunity that the Sankai boys were ready to exploit. As the dry season intensified, tensions in the region increased, water and resources became scarce, amplifying competition among predators. The Sankai boys, using their deep knowledge of the terrain, began to patrol more frequently, marking their territory with a presence so dominant that it served as a direct challenge to the Mara North. The brothers' strategy was clear: provoke and wear down the Mara North, forcing them into confrontations under unfavorable conditions. On a stifling afternoon, under the scorching heat of the African sun, the Sankai boys encountered two members of the Mara North near one of the few remaining water holes. What followed was a fierce battle, not just for territory, but for the very essence of survival. Sankai, the tacit leader, with his dark and imposing mane, was the first to advance, emitting a deep roar that resonated like thunder across the plains. Kini, with his agility and dexterity, flanked one of the opponents, distracting him enough for Lemert, the group's fighting machine, to strike with devastating force. The fight was intense and brutal, the dust and roar of the lions filling the air, creating a scene of primordial chaos that reflected the ancestral struggle for supremacy. The Mara North, overcome by the strategy and brute force of the Sankai boys, retreated, wounded and diminished. The victory that day did not result in deaths, but the psychological impact on the Mara North was clear. They had underestimated the resilience and renewed ferocity of the brothers. This confrontation not only physically weakened the Mara North, but also shook their morale, creating fissures in their coalition that would soon prove crucial. In the months that followed, the advantage gained in this confrontation allowed the Sankai boys to expand their patrolling and presence, gradually recovering lost areas and solidifying their control. Each victory strengthened their legacy, while the Mara North, worn and disunited, struggled to maintain their cohesion. The real turning point came when Saryuni, one of the most formidable members of the Mara North, disappeared under mysterious circumstances. His absence left a power vacuum that the Sankai boys did not hesitate to exploit. With the rival coalition fragmented and one member down, the Sankai boys launched a series of offensives that would culminate in the total recovery of their territory and the reaffirmation of their dominance. The final battle for control of Lemek was not just a demonstration of physical strength, but a testament to the strategic acumen and unbreakable bond between the brothers. With the Mara North weakened and in retreat, the Sankai boys emerged not only as victors but as legends of Masai Mara, whose dominion was now unquestionable. The climax of their journey was not just a territorial victory but the consolidation of a legacy that would echo through generations. After reaffirming their dominion over the Lemek Conservancy, the Sankai boys, now a powerful and united trio, entered a new phase of territorial governance. The final battle against the Mara North not only solidified their position as dominant leaders, but also marked the beginning of an era of peace and stability for the pride that the Sankai boys protected. With the decline of the Mara North, tensions in the region significantly decreased, allowing wildlife and local communities to experience a period of relative calm. With the territory firmly under their control, the Sankai boys began to focus more on managing their realm. The abundance of natural resources within Lemek allowed them to sustain a large prey population, which, in turn, attracted lionesses from neighboring areas. This increased the genetic diversity of the pride and ensured the health and vigor of future generations. The trio also worked to stabilize the territory, regularly patrolling the borders to discourage intruders and strengthening ties with other groups of lions in adjacent areas. These actions not only prevented conflicts but also promoted alliances, fundamental for the long-term security of their dominion. The dominant presence of the Sankai boys had a profound impact on the ecosystem of Masai Mara. As predators at the top of the food chain, they helped control the population of herbivores, which is crucial for maintaining the health of the savannas. This ecological balance benefits the entire biodiversity of the region, helping to maintain the overall health of the ecosystem. Moreover, the stability provided by the governance of the Sankai boys encouraged research and conservation projects in the area. Scientists and conservationists were able to conduct studies on the wildlife and habitats of Masai Mara with greater safety, contributing to a deeper understanding of ecological processes and conservation needs in the region. However, despite the success and stability, the Sankai boys and the Masai Mara ecosystem face ongoing challenges. The interaction between wildlife and human communities on the edges of the reserve continues to be a delicate issue. Conflicts over land and natural resources, especially during the dry seasons, can lead to dangerous encounters for both humans and animals. The presence of the Sankai boys had a profound impact on the ecosystem of Masai Mara. As predators at the top of the food chain, they helped control the population of herbivores, which is crucial for maintaining the health of the savannas. This ecological balance benefits the entire biodiversity of the region, helping to maintain the overall health of the ecosystem. Moreover, the stability provided by the governance of the Sankai boys encouraged research and conservation projects in the area. Scientists and conservationists were able to conduct studies on the wildlife and habitats of Masai Mara with greater safety, contributing to a deeper understanding of ecological processes and conservation needs in the region. However, despite the success and stability, the Sankai boys and the Masai Mara ecosystem face ongoing challenges. The interaction between wildlife and human communities on the edges of the reserve continues to be a delicate issue. Conflicts over land and natural resources, especially during the dry seasons, can lead to dangerous encounters for both humans and animals. Conflicts over land and natural resources, especially during the dry seasons, can lead to dangerous encounters for both humans and animals. Poaching and uncontrolled development also pose significant threats to the long-term conservation of the region. While conservation efforts are underway, The need for more robust policies and international cooperation to protect these precious habitats is urgent. The Sankai boys, through their struggles and triumphs, have left a lasting legacy in Masai Mara. They are not only a symbol of power and resilience, but also a living example of the complexity of the social and environmental dynamics that shape the African savanna. As the trio ages, the issue of succession becomes prominent. The future of the coalition and the pride they lead will eventually pass to the next generation of lions, who will have their own battles to face and their own stories to create. The ability of young lions to learn from the Sankai boys, maintaining the stability and prosperity of the pride, will be crucial for the continuation of the Sankai boys' legacy. The story of the Sankai boys is a powerful narrative about the struggle for survival, the power of unity, and the importance of leadership in a wild and ruthless world. Their journey is not just a saga of conquest and control, but also a lesson on the interdependence of all forms of life and the importance of environmental conservation. The impact of the Sankai boys on Masai Mara will be felt for many years, inspiring both those who live among them and those who come from distant lands to witness the majesty and complexity of African wildlife. Through their legacy, the Sankai boys will continue to play a vital role in the narrative of Masai Mara, serving as ambassadors of the savanna and guardians of its uncertain future. With hope and determination, the story of the Sankai boys serves as a call to action in the conservation of the wild beauty of Masai Mara, ensuring that future generations may also witness and learn from the spectacle of nature in its most pure and untamed form. Guys, let us know in the comments below if you were already familiar with the story of the Sankai boys, and don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and share with a friend. Big hug.